All the previous time, it was very easy for China to valorize, to make any exploitation of the international trade system for its own interest. And now we see that China has many difficulties. Why? Because with those tariffs, those reciprocal tariffs, we have a big difference between the world and China, especially with the 3 month pause. Because now it's obvious that the real enemy for America is, of course, China and not any other country at different level. So um, the idea is to have a confrontation. We have, for the moment, an escalation, and we can see that in reality, China wants to show that it has the same level of the US. But we know the reality, and this is impossible. So the idea is at least to convince um, its own country that it's already at the same level with the US. So the way that China answers to all this big pressure is totally dependent of the past, and it's not a way to consider those problems now, in the present, and in the future. So China wants to show that it has the same level, but we know that it's in fact a failure. And the idea is that this confrontation is a very big problem, not for the world, as China said, but for China. Because it's the first time that the US, in an effective strategic way of thinking, they are trying to change the situation. They are trying, in fact, to counterattack to this behavior of China, and we can see the first results. So we are not talking about the markets. We can see that there is no um, deep problem, but the real problem is China. So for China, it's very important to try to fix this problem in indirect way, not a direct, because it will be obvious to everyone that China is in fact and indeed the second and not the first power of the world.